tell me each time when you're counting this in off a break, just give me the 5-second mark, and I'll count it in from here. So. Yeah, just talk to me. I'll pick the phone up each time after we're clear. And then you can tell me when we get down to 10 seconds, and then at 5 seconds, I'll just count it silently in here. Okay. And welcome once again to high school basketball tonight on 97.7 WILE. It is the Catfish Challenge as the Cambridge Bobcats invade the tank of John Glenn High School to take on the Muskies. The 10th annual Catfish Challenge between the Bobcats and the Muskies. An all-day affair of basketball, and currently on the floor in between the JV and varsity contests here, they are giving away scholarship money. John Valentine, my co-host tonight down there, doing the chore, and we're carrying this tonight not only on 97.7, but also on YRPtv or ABC Sports Facebook link, as these two teams hook up for the 10th time. And the Muskies lead the series 6-3 coming in to tonight, and the traveling trophy will go to the team that accumulates the most points throughout the day from 3rd grade up through the varsity contest. And currently, I'm looking at the list here right now. John Glenn won the 3rd grade game, picking up a point. Cambridge came back and won the 4th grade game, so it was 1 point apiece then. John Glenn at the 5th grade level was victorious. Cambridge 6th graders picked up a point there. So 3rd through 6th, it was 2 points to 2 points. And then at the 7th grade level, 7th, 8th, and 9th, they picked up 2 points each. John Glenn winning the 7th grade, Cambridge at the 8th grade level. And then the 9th graders, freshman team, John Glenn picking up 2 points there. And as we just saw the JV contest, John Glenn victorious there in a seesaw affair. They won that one 38-34 to pick up a few more points. And then JV, hey, welcome back. I'm just kind of running down the day's events from the Catfish Challenge. We got down to that JV game, and John Glenn able to pick up 3 points there.
Yep.
And so that gives them a 5-point advantage heading into the varsity game, which is worth 5 points.
It is, and this is our 10th year. I'm sure you covered that already in the intro. 10th year for the Catfish Challenge, and every single year it's come down to whoever wins the varsity contest, and today is no different. So basically, John Glenn is ahead by 5, as you mentioned. However, the varsity game is worth 5. So if they split and Cambridge wins the varsity game, then the tiebreaker goes to Cambridge. So it's been a long day, but it's been a fun day, and obviously for a good cause too. So
well, yeah, we just talked a little bit about the scholarship, and you were just on the floor awarding 2 young men scholarships for, and that's kind of what this whole thing comes down to.
Really, it is, and you know, the goal was to have an all-day fun basketball event to get the youth involved, and then to put an emphasis on the great traditions of Cambridge and John Glenn basketball, and really that's their goal. And then a couple years ago, in 2009, when Josh Adams passed away, we said, man, we got to do something different. We got to add a little bit more spice to this, and what a better way than to memorialize him by giving away a couple bucks to kids that are hardworking, good students, good teammates, and to give them some extra cash to put in their pocket to be able to further their education is pretty darn important. So we feel pretty proud about that.
Yeah, that's going on, as you said, for a number of years now, and then tonight, recipient from each school?
That's correct. So tonight, $250 scholarship for Caden Moore from Cambridge and for Nathan Walker from John Glenn. So the goal is to continue that. We'd really like to bump that up to a $500 situation, or even a $500 and a $250. So on a couple different players. So you know, the community has been great in their support with that. We'd really like to get some other folks involved in that, and what better way than to be able to help a kid further his education and put a little bit of money in his pocket to help him do that.
Yeah, been a fun day of basketball. We're
Sure
recapping kind of the games going back and forth.
Yeah, the youth
third,
games.
fourth split and fifth and sixth split.
You know,
middle school, same deal.
Yeah, the youth games were great. You know, a couple of them came down to the wire, which was fun. But again, that's kind of been every year we've done this. It's been neck and neck the whole way through. In fact, I went back and looked through some of the results. More times than not, Cambridge has actually had the lead going into the varsity game. But John Glenn has come through with the varsity win, therefore winning the challenge. So the youth leagues and the middle schools, all that kind of stuff are usually pretty competitive. And as I said, the goal was to have the varsity game determine the overall winner, and that's happened 9 straight years, and tonight will be the 10th.
Yeah, I'm looking at some of the scores today. There were some pretty tight ones at the 8th grade game, 36-34. The JV contest that just ended 38-34. John Glenn winning that game, and then that one kind of went back and forth a little bit. Bobcats had the lead, and then JV, John Glenn Muskies came back late, seized the lead and didn't give it up. But, last year this game was held in Cambridge, and it went overtime. The varsity contest went overtime, and the Little Muskies won that one 53-49, although the Cats lead the overall series between these two teams. John Glenn, the last few years, has kind of had the upper hand.
They have, certainly, and they've built a pretty solid program over here over the last, 15 to 20 years. Always had good sports programs anyway, but really basketball has taken that next step, certainly, and dominated that. And you're right, Cambridge has stumbled a little bit recently, and it's not necessarily because they haven't been competitive, but it's because John Glenn's been pretty darn good.
The Cats come in tonight with a 2-6 record. They had a road loss earlier this week. You and I were there at Indian Valley. Pretty tough contest for the Cats there. They played pretty well 3 out of 4 periods, but that third period, Indian Valley came out and jumped ahead of them and never gave up the ship after that. Indian Valley and John Glenn will be facing off in about a week, but tonight the Cats take on the Muskies, who are 4-3, 4-1 in league play. And they've had a couple of tight contests too, but talked to both coaches before the game. And they feel pretty good about their teams playing right now, and we could see a pretty quick-paced affair.
Well, that's the rumor on the street. So, it's fun basketball to watch. You like to see kids get up and down the floor as long as they're being disciplined and taking good shots as well. I'm kind of a purist, but I like a fast game, individually. But it should be, it could be, I should say, a pretty decent contest. Now, a couple things, pointers that you kind of have to make mention to is John Glenn. They like to get up and down the floor a little bit. However, they do still like to shoot a lot of threes, too. So if you're relying on that three-pointer, which they have the last several years, if it's a good night, it's a great night. If it's not a good night, it's not a fun night, right? So you can let an inferior team hang around by forcing shots and not putting them through the cylinder. And if you're Cambridge, you're hoping that that's the case, because John Glenn hasn't shot the ball ridiculously well from three-point land. They're only shooting 29% on the season. So, if that trend continues, you let an inferior team kind of hang around a little bit. So for Cambridge, though, they've got to take care of the ball. They average way too many turnovers. They like to turn it over, and that's really what happened against Indian Valley the other night. Look, Cambridge has played pretty well. Their last 4 or 5 games haven't got the W's that they needed, but, they were in a 1-point game against Bel Air, and the other day against Indian Valley, they were up 5 or 6 or something like that at halftime. But the difference was Indian Valley came out, face guarded them in their face, up and down the floor, pressured the ball like crazy, and were very handsy, and Cambridge got really tired because they were getting pressured so much. John Glenn has the ability to do that same thing, so Cambridge needs to take care of the ball tonight.
The Catfish Challenge, the 10th anniversary of this contest between these two local rivals, going to continue tonight. Our pregame, we'll take a little closer look at tonight's starting lineup, talk a little bit more about that. Every week, Cambridge statistician Ray Sims always provides us with a bunch of little factoids, and he said coming into tonight's game, Cambridge and John Glenn series 30-16 in favor of the Bobcats, although JG won a year ago. And just kind of looking at a few other things here. 1991, A junior guard, Gino Ford, scored 51, including 6 threes to lead the Cats to a 174 win at home against Steubenville on this date. Junior guard John Mark Scott and Josh Crispin added 15 points apiece for the Bobcats as Chuck Kogler chipped in 10. A little bit of factoid in Bobcat history from statistician and historian Ray Sims. We're going to step out for a few minutes. We'll come back, get you set up for tonight's contest right after these messages. Let's do 3 minutes here. That'll get us pretty good into those. Yeah, do 3 minutes. Okay. Yeah, we got after this, we'll come back for about 5 minutes, and then we'll take another 2-minute break or so for the national anthem. And then we'll come back and keep it here for a while. Okay? Highlighted right there. Cambridge's is unchanged. And for them, it is there comes through 0, 3, 13, 23, 24.
Cambridge would be 1, 2, 3, 14, 42. Okay.
Specialist there.
When it's game night, let Papa John's Pizza on Southgate Parkway feed your team after the game. Hey, this is Shannon. You can create your pizza with all your favorite toppings or pick one of our specialty pizzas like the Super Hawaiian, the Philly Cheesesteak, the Works, or the Fiery Buffalo Chicken. Don't forget we also have chicken poppers, wings, breadsticks, and cheese sticks too. Call 740-439-PAPA. That's 439-7272 or order from your phone at papajohns.com.
If you're having any problems with your heating system, you want someone who will be there right away to help. This is Russ Abels. At Abels, we provide emergency service for any brand of heating cooling system 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call us. We promise to get you up and running quickly and professionally. And if you ever need a replacement, we'll help you save energy and money with a new high-efficiency system, and we will do a flawless installation. If you need help with your heating, call Abels.
Welcome back to Johns Glen High School. The fish tank. There's the Bobcats. And the Muskies getting ready to do battle tonight. We'll take a little closer look at tonight's starting lineup for the visiting Bobcats. The starters tonight, senior Davion Barr, 6'3", and averaging about 14 coming in, joined by senior Caden Moore at 5'10", and a 5-point average per game. Josiah Barnett, 5'9", sophomore, averaging 10 a game for the Bobcats. Braden Gregg is 6'1", and the juniors, his average is 2 a game. And Devin Ogle, the 6'2" junior, 15 points per game average. And then Garrett Carpenter, you don't mention it as a starter, but boy, as soon as that whistle blows once, he's in the game. Yeah. And he's been a nice spark for the Bobcats. He's a freshman at 5'10", coming off the bench, averaging 5 a game, but the last 2 or 3 games he's come in and give him 6 or 8, 9, shooting the 3 as well as anybody on the team right now, and giving them some quality minutes. So that's the starting 5 for the Bobcats. For the Muskies, 6'6" junior Caleb Lyric, 7 points a game. Caden Walls, 6-foot senior, at 12 points a game. Nelson Cameron, 3 points per game, a 5'7" junior in the start tonight. Nathan Walker, They'll live and die with that. And Bexley Woodard, 6'3", senior, averaging 6 points a game. And you look at that, and on paper, it looks pretty equal there, but the Muskies have a little bit of a size advantage. But the way they play the game and make it a full court game sometimes, it could be just whoever knocks that shot down.
Yeah, and that's as he said, if John Glenn is hot from beyond the arc, that will certainly dictate the pace of the game and put a lot of pressure on Cambridge. And Cambridge, as we mentioned several times, is not the best shooting team out there. They're getting better. As they're getting their legs and getting deeper in the season, they're getting better, maybe taking some better shots and stuff too, getting used to the offense, that kind of thing. However, they're only shooting
48% from the floor. So when you're only shooting 48%, it's hard to get back in games when the other team's knocking down threes. So that'll dictate the game. But Cambridge, I'm sure they're going to get up and down the floor with John Glenn a little bit here, and that's okay. Cambridge can play that game. Play ugly, call it whatever you want, as long as you're not turning the ball over. And they can get up and down the floor. John Glenn has some athletes, and they've certainly got more size. I think if it were me, and I know Coach Sheck likes to play inside out too, but he's got guys that can shoot the three, so it's tough for him to do that all the time. But when you got a guy 6'5" in Larrick, and Larrick can play, Cambridge doesn't have anybody to defend that. So keep your eye on that tonight too.
Yeah, the half-court set, John Glenn's certainly going to have an advantage there, probably defensively too, because if the Bobcats can't run in the half-court set, they like to pound it inside to Davion Barr. He can jump quick, but he's only 6'2", 6'3", and he's going to have a couple of bigger guys behind him that could cause some problems for it.
Well, and look, don't discount Devin Ogle. I mean, Devin Ogle's the leading scorer for Cambridge. He's also playing pretty decent on defense, and he can overtake a game as well. So he's also second on the team in rebounding. So he can play inside. He's good around the rim. I mean, he's shooting 64%, something like that for the season, 64.5%. So he's having a pretty good season too. If Devin Ogle can control and try to limit Larrick a little bit inside. Davion, I think, in that Indian Valley game wasn't aggressive enough inside. He was trying to be a little fancy and dishing the ball a little bit to Devin. If he can be more aggressive with the ball when he gets it inside, I think he can certainly be some trouble because he can elevate so much.
Well, one of the things you and I have talked a little bit about too, both these teams, I talked to both coaches before the game. I said, well, if we get our choice, we want to run. They both want to run.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, who knows what kind of outcome that we'll have. I know Cambridge, we've seen them a few times. When they run well. John Glenn, on the other hand, might run, kick it inside, pop it back out, and hit that transition three if that's what's working for them. But it'll be a fun game. We know that. And as these two teams compete right down to the wire every year.
And hopefully this year will be no different.
I'm sure it won't. Pre-game winding down here from the tank. We'll be back with tonight's opening tip right after these messages.
Are you paying too much for homeowners insurance?
AVC Sports presents high school basketball. Tonight's game is brought to you by Doan Ford, Patrons Buckeye Mutual Insurance, WB Green Insurance, West 40 Auto Sales, Southeastern Med, AMG Vanadium, Valentine Insurance, Woodsfield Savings Bank, Papa John's of Cambridge, and Abel's Electric Heating and Cooling.
To rural Ohio. They offer a product to meet your insurance need, whether it is for a farm, rental dwelling, home in town, secondary or seasonal dwelling, churches, or mobile home. They partner with Grinnell Mutual Insurance Company to offer liability coverage to package with their patrons' Buckeye Mutual policy. Call today at 638-3604 and follow them on Facebook at Patrons Buckeye.
I'm not buying till I check Doan Ford.
Most of us are faced with uncertainty every day. Your job, your finances, sporting events, schooling for your children, and so much more. With so much uncertainty surrounding you, there's one auto dealership that you can be certain about, and that's Doan Ford. You can be certain that you'll always get a great deal and the best service afterwards. In business for nearly 60 years has given Doan Ford the reputation of being a strong, reliable dealership. Be certain. Choose Doan Ford. Online at DoanFord.com.
Your home and your car are likely your two biggest investments. investments. Protecting them from unexpected damage is a prime concern to WB Green Insurance. They are proud to represent Westfield Insurance, a financial service organization that provides insurance products for your home, auto, and business. Sharing knowledge, building trust is Westfield Insurance's pledge to their customers, along with personalized claim service that's fast and friendly. To learn how Westfield can help with your insurance needs, talk to WB Green Insurance today.
Are you looking for a career path with a growing company? AMG Vanadium is actively recruiting for production team members at its Zanesville plant and would love to talk with you about your next career opportunity. Come join a company with a strong environmental purpose and commitment to community. To learn more, visit AMG's website at amg-v.com/careers. AMG offers a competitive wage and benefit package and career growth opportunities. Applications are currently being accepted. Whether you are experiencing pain in your knee, tingling in your fingers, or a sore back, Superior Med Orthopedics is here for you. Their patients' health and safety is their top priority, and they currently offer telehealth visits for your initial appointment. Take comfort in knowing when you come to their facility, they're following all protocols to ensure you remain safe. Find out all their team offers by visiting seormc.org today to learn more.
Cam Summers and his crew covering the cameras and the board for us here on site. Braden back at the station. We got people involved everywhere. YRPtv streaming the video tonight, and if you listen to us on the radio here at 97.7, welcome and Happy New Year.
What else would you rather be doing on New Year's Eve than hanging out with us and watching the Catfish Challenge?
Probably a lot of people would answer that a lot differently than you and I, maybe. Starting lineups again tonight for the Bobcats. It's going to be Barr, Moore, Barnett, Gregg, and Ogle. For the Muskies, Lyric, Walls, Cameron, Walker, and Woodard. Good crowd in attendance tonight.
It really has been a great crowd all day.
When's the last time it was 60 degrees on December the 30th?
Great day to
I think it's pouring out in here right now.
No, it doesn't feel like basketball weather.
For sure. Doesn't.
And it's a little steamy inside, too.
It'll be Barr and Walker in the center court area. Then we'll jump it up. Both teams anticipating a little defense here, and that will be tapped back and controlled by the Muskies. They'll have it out of the shoot. Cameron out on top, man-to-man defense by the Bobcats. Feeds the high post. Walker on the left wing. Follows his way down the right side, trying to scoop it inside to Lyric. He'll pack his way up and in. And Caleb Lyric was well underneath, and there's a steal on the inbounds by Walker, and it has a re-stolen by Moore. But Caleb Lyric well under the basket. And that full court pressure by the Muskies, a little bit of a problem for the Cats, but Barnett down the lane, and they'll call the hand check. Nelson Cameron right away picks up a foul, and it's hands-on defense, and that could get the officials involved early.
And folks watching from home, yes, you see how big Caleb Lyric is. He made Devin Ogle look pretty small, and he's not a small guy. So that could be a huge problem for the Cats.
Walls out on top. And now Lyric on the switch, and what are they going to call? A moving pick? Yeah, they are. But Devin Ogle returns the favor and gives it right back. Cats didn't even get a shot up. 7:19, opening period, 2-0. Muskies and Cambridge will pick up full court.
Well, establishing that pace of play early, not letting kids push each other. I guess they have to learn if they want to stay on the floor.
Woodard up ahead, gets it to Wall. Right side. And back to Walls, who will pull up from 15. That's an air ball, rebounded by Woodard. Another three, cha-ching, Wall. Not hesitating to pull the trigger that time, and another loose ball. Walls will come up with it. Feeds it left side to Walker. Back to Woodard for three. That one short of the mark. Cats will have it. Barr with the rebound, pushes it up ahead to Ogle, who will lay it up and in. And the Bobcats get their first two of the night, trailing 5-2.
We had a timeout.
Timeout. We'll keep it here for this timeout. That's a pretty quick TO. taken by the Bobcats. Just a 30 as they trail it 5-2, but John Glenn not hesitating to pull the trigger with any kind of an open look here so far. They've taken a bunch of shots here in just a minute and a half.
Yeah, 1 for 4 from the field so far, but or 2 for 4, I'm sorry. Lyric with that nice post up there for that first basket, and then the 3 by Walls. But yeah, Cambridge, 2 turnovers already, and really only had the shot on that fast break. So they're going to have to take care of the ball. Again, John Glenn's going to press you, especially if, you know, they've been watching film on Cambridge too, and they see that they don't handle the pressure that great, and they saw what Indian Valley did to them last week.
Caden Walls showed excellent quickness and always anticipating where the ball's going. He'll inbound it. Up ahead to Walker, who will lead the slow break. Baseline trying to feed it in to Lyric, stolen away by the Bobcats. Here they come, and Barnett will lay it up off a nice feed. Josiah Barnett from Davion Barr, who sees the floor pretty well.
He does. He's got a nice touch on that pass, too.
A couple of assists by him here early as the Muskies handle the break again. Woodard for 3. Cha-ching! And 2 threes early as the Muskies are shooting the ball pretty well. Cats handle the pressure this time again. Tabar at the foul line. Kicks it out. Braden Gregg with Larry closing him out. Won't take that. Walls with the steal. Will take it coast to coast, and he blew it. Nobody around him will hustle back after that steal and come up with a rebound.
Very uncharacteristic for Caden Wall. Not that he got the steal, because it plays really good defense.
Nearly another steal. Barnett handles it. He'll take it all the way down the lane, kick it out to Ogle. Muskies just playing passing lanes, hands flapping all the time. Barnett, top of the key to Ogle, feeds it inside to Barr, gets the defense in the air, then the shot blocked. Lyric got a piece of it, pulled down by Walker out ahead to Woodard, reverse, not there. Rebound kicked out. Barnett will have it and get the easy layup down to Devin Ogle, who was only at about half court, and another timeout taken, this one by the Muskies, as it's 8-6 John Glenn, 5:03 left here in the opening period. And another 30 seconds, and we'll just keep it here. Teams aren't going to sit down. We won't either.
No, we've been sitting. We could stand up a little bit. That was actually John Glenn's second timeout. They called the first one.
They called the first one.
That's
all
right.
I thought the Cats had, but it looked like the official pointed that way. So they've taken a couple, even though they lead at 8-6. Defense has been the name of the game for both teams so far in creating opportunities for their offense.
Yep, 3 turnovers for Cambridge and 2 for John Glenn so far. And I think it's Coach Sheck's just getting on them, really making sure that they understand to get back in transition. They've given up 2 easy buckets already in transition.
5-minute mark, Muskies with the lead in the ball. Woodard left side to Walls, kicks it across. Right side Walker, who was quiet a year ago and then caught fire in the second half. Tried for the back door cut that time, and just checking into the game with Noah Windland. He was going to be open, but that ball kicked. And now Steele Bates, 5'11" freshman, will check in for the Muskies. Bobcats got Garrett Carpenter into the game on the last break as well. Bates with it, left side. Back out on top wall. Looking for Walker inside, who's got more on him. That's a size advantage. And Walker's got it in the post. He'll work his way in, put it up, and an easy 2 points that time for Nathan Walker.
Yeah, that's easy pickings for him. I mean, he not only is a really good player, and he can move really well inside, but it's a huge mismatch size-wise.
On the shove is Moore trying to beat pressure. They'll call the foul on the Muskies, and that was going to be on Bates, his first, team first. And Lane Hall into the game for the Muskies. Barnett left side, wide open, look at the 3. Cha-ching! Josiah Barnett has 5 in the period. Bobcat down by 1 at 10-9. Bates down the lane, kick out. Deep 3 by Woodard, short of the mark. Rebound, tapped around inside, still loose. Picked up by Bates on the right wing. 4-minute mark. Woodard deep outside that arc. He was looking at it again. Out on top, Windland off the dribble, and knocked away from him and out of bounds. 3:48 left here in the opening period. 10-9 Muskie.
Woodard only shooting 25% on the season from deep, but he can shoot it.
Inbound to Walker, who just catches it, flips it at the basket, and lays it in. That's another easy bucket for him. As the Cats beat pressure, Carpenter doubled at half court, flips it around behind his back, stolen away by Woodard. Leads the break the other way, flipped it to Bates, nearly lost it. Now he's trapped. Brings it back out to the corner, will reset. Walker down the lane, back to Woodard. Open three, left side, touching. His second of the period, and it's 12-9. Check that, 15-9. Muskies. Barnett between the circles for the Bobcats, 3-minute mark, and it has been pretty quick paced here.
Yeah, it has, even though they're shooting a lot of threes. It has been pretty quick.
Carpenter, and a foul.
That was an easy call.
Yeah. As Ogle came over and instead of standing still and setting the pick, he set the pick on the move. That will be Devon's second and the team's second. So both teams with a couple of fouls.
Yeah, and still with 3 minutes to go in the first. Boy, it's tough to keep Devin Ogle in there and pick up number 3.
So Bates off the dribble. Feeds it to Walker. He'll take it hard down the lane to get the Bobcats, and that shot rejected by Davion Barr. He'll move up the list there a little bit. On-block shots came in, only needed about 9 more to move up into 8th place in the career list. Got a big one there. 15-9, Bobcats trying to attack. Ogle cutting to the basket, thrown over his head. He saves it inbound, but right into the hands of the Muskies. And back out on top, Woodard. Left side now to Lyric. Now check that hole. Inside feed. Walker cut off on the baseline. Skips it across. Bates 3 from the corner. Cha-ching! Steal Bates.
The freshman from downtown.
4th 3 of the period for the Muskies, who get out to a good early start. 18-9. Barr off the dribble. Kick out to the corner. Moore open from the wing. His 3. Well off the mark. And then we'll go back to the Muskies.
Again, John Glenn gets hot and they start banging those threes home. Cambridge is going to have to be able to keep pace with them. And when you're not the best shooting team out there, it's tough to be able to make up points when you're not the best shooting team and you're not having a good night.
Walls and Cameron back into the game for the Bobcats. It will be Cohen Stoner getting in for the first time. Walls, skip pass to the corner. 3 by Winland off the mark. Rebounded by Walls. Will get a second look.
You have to know.
Woodard 3 from the top of the key. He missed that one of his few misses. Carpenter with the rebound. Over to Barnett. He'll push it across the timeline and then pull it back out on top with Walls right there as it tipped away. Now Moore trapped on the far side.
Cambridge is going to have to stay out of that corner and away from that sideline. Keep that ball in the middle of the floor.
That's struggling just to get into their half-court set. Barnett will break the defense down, switch to the left hand, and a nice sweet finish by Barnett, who has 7 in the period to keep the Cats hanging around. And Moore with the steal. And a little loose ball handling by the Cats. Tried to push it too hard, re-stolen. Under 50 seconds left in the period, 18-11. Muskies with the lead in the ball. Woodard back to Walls. He'll take a deep 3. Cha-ching! And Walls' second 3 of the quarter. Full court pressure again. Barr will handle it. He'll take it all the way down, switch to the right hand, and draw contact and free throws. With 31 left on the clock, that foul on Caden Walls, his first. 21-11. John Glenn with a 10-point lead, and Davion Barr has yet to score. He was the point of emphasis for Coach Scheck to try to keep him in check, and so far they have. But they'll get a couple opportunities here.
And Davion only shooting 27% from the free throw line, and that missing that first one's going to make that number go down a little bit.
Lyric checks back in with 31 on the clock. Muskies getting a good rotation going early here. As the second one by Barr is good. So he splits the pair, making it 21-12. Long pass down, and 3 from the corner. Cha-ching! Nelson Cameron. That's the 7th three.
Oh, wow.
7 threes in the corner. I don't know if they can keep that kind of pace up. 24-12 on the pace of 7 3-pointers.
When you're hot, and 7 turnovers for Cambridge to match the threes from John Glenn.
There's another one right there to give it back to the Muskies with 13 on the clock. Walker will try his hand for 3. That one off the mark. Tapped out. Barr will control the rebound. 5 on the clock. Pass to half-court strike. Trying to feed it up ahead. Another steal. And that'll be a three-quarter court chance for Walker, who nearly banks it in. So we head to the end of one, and it is John Glenn leading the Cats 24-12. We'll take the break and be back in 30 seconds.
Our community is a special place, and you work hard to make a living and build a good life for you and your family. It's not always easy. You deserve a local financial partner to be there when you need them most. At Woodsfield Savings Bank, we live, work, and play here. Our cutting-edge technology combined with local decision-making allows us to deliver unmatched personal service. Let us start earning your trust today. Woodsfield Savings Bank. It's personal here.
Back in the tank. The fish tank. 24-12. Muskie leading the Bobcats on a strength of 7 threes. We said in the pregame, if the Muskies shoot the 3 well, they're going to be tough to handle. Well, in the first period, they're tough to handle. They had 4 different guys knock down threes. A couple of guys, a pair of them, Walls and Woodard. And they have 24 at the end of the first period. Bobcats with 12, Josiah Barnett. It would answer with 1 3. He's got 7 to lead the Cats, and the Cats will have the first possession of the second period.
Cats only getting 8 shots off in that first period. John Glenn shot the ball 19 times.
Forcing a few turnovers. Cats feed it to Ogle at the high post. He beats Lyric to the basket, but not to the hoop as Lyric swats another one away. And it comes back the other way. Walker 3 for the corner, an air ball. Carpenter pulls it down, and the Cats will push it again the other way. Ogle, right corner, skip pass across, top of the key, Barnett. As Lyric step out on him. Cats will slow it down here. Inside feed again, trying to get it to Ogle from Barr. And Cameron picked up his second. Team's 4th. And Ogle will sit down for the Cats.
And that's the mismatch Cambridge wants on the floor right now, though Cameron's going to take a seat. Devin Ogle had Cameron guarding him, and that you got to get the ball to Devin in that situation.
Greg back in. Lane Hall for the Muskies. Barnett against Wall. Quick on quick. Back to Greg. Cats down a dozen here at the beginning of the second period. Carpenter shakes loose, puts up the floater. Nice kiss off the glass by Garrett Carpenter. Shot that before he got down with the bigs.
Right, good idea.
And Walker in between strides there doesn't get the dribble down, and that'll be a turnover Muskies. Bobcat down 10. Trying to cut it to single digits here, 6:48 to go. Greg ahead up to Moore. Hall picks him up between the circles right side. The Carpenter off the pick and roll, feeds it down low. Barr in the paint, kick out. Moore fake to 3, puts it on the floor, pull up from 5, and they'll call the foul on the floor. And that one will be Caden Wall's number 2 foul, and the 5th on the team. And C.J. Dolan going to check in for Walls. And Whitland back in the ball game for the Muskies, and he'll replace Larry. 6:32 left first half. Moore lobs it out on top to Carpenter. Reset. Barnett off the dribble. Reverse. And back to Barnett. Deep three, left side, off the back of the rim, pulled down by Woodard, and he'll push. Does not have the numbers. Hands it off to Walker, who will force it and then kick it out. Woodard's three, rattles in and out, and pulled down by Moore. Pushes it up ahead, Carpenter. 6-minute mark, 24-14.
Cambridge needs to take advantage of that coming out of the break. John Glenn has taken 2 shots, both threes, both misses, so Cambridge's going to have to make that next possession count.
Barnett off the dribble, left side, Barr open for 3, he'll take it. Touching, the soft jumper for Davian Barr, his first field goal of the night, a 3 to cut the lead, 24-17, nearly thrown away. Hall with a nice catch there, then tapped by Barr. He'll have the steal in the run out, one hand, layup, and in. Barr with a couple of quick buckets. And the Bobcats are within 5. Again, defense creating offense as the Bobcats press the issue again. Lane Hall, kick out, open 3 for Winland. No. And Barr again with a long rebound. And he'll push it up. Jump stop, lay it in again. Nobody back for the Muskies, and they will burn yet another timeout. 5:03 left in the first half, 24-21. Cats in the midst of a Davion Barr run.
And much needed Davion Barr run because, as you said, he hadn't knocked down a bucket in that first period. Did knock down a free throw, but 3 straight buckets by Barr gets Cambridge back in it.
A couple of those were just long rebounds that he was able to outrun everyone, and he's got speed.
Yeah.
He gets a couple of steps on you. You're not catching him from behind and knock down the 3. So the Cats hanging around now with just a 3-point deficit. They've been behind by as many as 12. And we figured this would be a game of runs.
Yeah.
First quarter, John Glenn knocked down 7 threes. They have not made a field goal in the first 3 minutes of this second period.
No, but they've still been aggressive from beyond the 3-point line. They've taken 3 shots, and all of them have been threes. Just haven't knocked them down yet. But, coming out of that, first quarter, Cambridge down 12. You figure, well, let's get this down to maybe 5 or 6 by halftime. Well, they're already back in it now, only down 3.
Left side, Woodard trying to feed it into Walker underneath the basket, trying to work himself some free space, and he does. Nice move.
He's got such good body control inside. He is definitely can definitely move around to be able to get the shot he wants.
Carpenter trapped in the backcourt, forced to burn a timeout, so the Bobcats will burn one, down 26-21. And John Glenn, we've seen their advantage inside so far with Walker and Larrick. They haven't taken advantage of that probably enough because they were so hot outside the arc. But you got to think when the threes aren't falling, you got to go to plan B.
Yeah, and if it were me, I'd just put Nathan Walker down there on that block because nobody's going to be able to stop him. He's got such good body control, and he can still elevate too, and he's got a nice soft touch. And what you just saw on that last possession, he can take over a game by doing that. And basically that's what he did at Cambridge last year. If you can remember, the Bobcats were up 14 or 12, I think, going into the fourth, and he just overtook the game and scored 16 points or something in the fourth quarter to win it.
Well, because you have to respect the 3.
Yeah.
You have to step out on the outside shooters, which is going to leave you one-on-one in the paint. And whether it's Larrick on the weak side and Walker on the strong side, or you flip either one of them, you're going to get some pretty good looks in there.
Yeah, really, 2 mismatches. I mean, both of them because of Larrick's size. And he's still got pretty good footwork inside, too, for a big guy. And with Walker in there, too. It's just really tough to defend. So, again, you hope that they keep shooting threes and missing them.
26-21, Muskies have led it throughout. Bobcat get the inbound pass, get it to Barnett. He'll take it coast to coast. That shot partially deflected by Walker and then eventually is stolen by the Muskies. And Winland will take it in. That shot rejected all by Barr. So the Cats will walk it the other way.
Barr is so good at blocking shots, as you mentioned earlier. He's trying to move up that list in the top 10 all time in Cambridge history.
They'll leave Carpenter open. He'll take it and knock it down. The deep 2.
Such a good touch.
They backed off of him. He nailed it. 26-23. Walls on the penetration, and Barr, another block, kicks it ahead to Barnett. Moore, top of the key against Larrick. Right side, Carpenter 3 ball. Carpenter, 7 in the period, and we're tied at 26. Wall trying to break the defense down. Feeds it to Larry, didn't handle the ball. Off his hands and out of bounds, back to the Bobcat. Or Ogle will check back into the Cats. Walls will check out. Here comes Cameron. And Woodard back into the game for the Muskies. 3:30 left in the half, 26 all, and the Muskies will pick up full court.
That was a fun couple minutes right there. Maybe not so much if you're a Muskies fan.
Right. And again, the Cats handle the pressure. Over to Ogle. He'll hit the hoop and miss it. A little short there. Got some contact. Woodard with the rebound. Feeds it off down to Walker. Works his way down the lane. Kick out. 3 ball by Cameron. No good. Rebounded by Woodard over the top left hand. He can't get it to go. Got it back again. Bates looked at the 3. He's stuck on the baseline. Kicks it to Walker. He'll take a 3 and miss it. And foul on the rebound attempt as Walker didn't get boxed out, and I think they're going to call Moore his first, team's third. But you better get a body on these guys because they're going to shoot it and go get it.
Yeah, and no excuse for not boxing out a three-point shooter, right? I mean, that Caden Morris knows better than that. He's got to be able to keep him away from that ball.
And the ball knocked back out of bounds by the quick hands of Barnett as Woodard trying to feed it into Cameron, cutting back door. Just under 3 left in the half. Cats have worked back from a 12-point deficit to tie to 26. Inbounded to Walker, right to the hoop. Lays it up short. Ogle with the rebound, out ahead to Barnett. Feeds it over to Barr, and he'll lay it in, and the Bobcats have their first lead of the night, 28-26. Walker racing it back down inside to Larrick, who missed it, but the tip in by Woodard. 28 apiece. Moore from the foul line. He had the big guy in the air, but nowhere to go with it. 28 all. Carpenter back out to Barr. Feeds it in to Ogle, and Larrick a little late getting to him that time, hanging on him. And it'll be a foul on Caleb Larrick, his first, team's 5th or 6th, I believe. I've got him with 6. Yep, there's the 6th-team foul. 2:14 to go in the half. 28 all. Carpenter will inbound it baseline left side. Goes inside. Ogle with the catch, couldn't complete it though. Good defense by the Muskies, and they'll pull it down and push Bates back out to Walker, trying to feed it into Larrick. He'll miss another bunny. Rebound loose on the floor. Bobcat tied up, and a jump ball. Arrow favoring the Muskies. Under 2 to play at 1:59, still 28 all. Bates lobs it into Walker, who will attack. Wide open look and lay it in. Nobody even attempted to defend him that time.
Way too easy for a good player like Walker.
Moore up ahead to Carpenter. Cats again handle the pressure, and they'll reset out on top, down 2. Barr with a high pick. Moore had a little space. He'll take it all the way in, spin to the hoop, lay it up and in. Caden Moore's first bucket of the night's a dandy. And on the inbounds, let's say no. Bobcats thought the ball was touched last by the Muskies. And the officials disagree. Going the other way, tied at 31 and a half. Left here in a very, very entertaining first half.
Sure has been. Up and down the floor, threes flying all over the place.
Walker. Bates left side. Lob inside to Larry. Works his way in against Barr, who tried to draw the charge, and Larrick missed the bunny again. Barnett with the run out. Kicks it back to Ogle. Skips it across to Barr. That one kicked by Walker. The Cats will take it out of bounds with 1:04 to go, tied at 30. Muskies getting back the last couple of times, but boy, Larrick's had some nice looks inside. and has missed the last 2 or 3.
Yeah, 3 in a row here in this period.
Ogle inbounds it to Moore. Bates will step up on him, goes over to Barnett, under a minute to play. Barr against Walker, hard to the lane, knocked out of his hand, right back to him. And now Carpenter will pull it out, and with Larrick on him, Larrick will give him lots of space. Now he'll have to come out and guard him, and that's a bit of a mismatch, big on small, that far away from the hoop.
Sure is.
Larrick said, get me closer to the hoop, will you? Barnett with Woodard on him, same kind of deal. He's saying, switch with me, yeah. Can't guard these quick guys out here. Cats looking to hold it for one.
And that's why Larrick can get away with it for now.
Ogle gets it to Moore, who'll go baseline. They'll give it a layup. He'll take it. And the Bobcats will get the deuce and lead by 2 with 10 to go. Nearly a steal in the backcourt. Walker pulls it up off the dribble right side all the way to the hoop. Left hand and in. And Walker ties this thing up with his 10th point of this first half. 32.
We promised you fireworks, folks. Woo! You got them.
You got a great half of basketball there, and more to come. Stay tuned. As we are tied at 32, Bobcats down 12 at one point, actually at the end of that first period. Battled their way back and tied this thing up. Actually took the lead momentarily in that second period, but don't go too far away. Just enough time to refresh your drink, get some more popcorn. Second half will be coming up. We'll have stats and scoring right after these messages.
When it's game night, let Papa John's Pizza on Southgate Parkway feed your team after the game. Hey, this is Shannon. You can create your pizza with all your favorite toppings or pick one of our specialty pizzas like the Super Hawaiian, the Philly Cheesesteak, the Works, or the Fiery Buffalo Chicken. Don't forget we also have chicken poppers, wings, breadsticks, and cheese sticks too. Call 740-439-PAPA. That's 439-7272 or order from your phone at papajohns.com.
In your time of need, will you be happy with your cut-rate car insurance? Will you have the coverages you need? Valentine Insurance is dedicated to protecting you and your family when you need it. As an independent insurance agency, we have partnered with many reputable insurance companies who even have local claims adjusters to provide you with unbeatable service. Are you going to trust a talking lizard to help you with your claim? Really? Don't let this happen to you. Trust the professionals at Valentine Insurance. Call 994-1776.
I was sitting in my car and it wouldn't start. I lifted the hood and the engine was falling apart. What would I do? My eyes filled with tears. Then on the radio I heard of West 40 by Pay here, where for a little money down and a little each week, I could have a car, nice, shiny, and sleek. So I walked in the door and I put the money down. Now I got a nice car that I can drive around. West 40 by Pay here will help rebuild your credit. The corner of Dewey and Route 40 in Cambridge, don't you forget it.
West 40 Auto Sales, corner of Route 40 and Dewey Avenue in Cambridge, is home of a guaranteed credit approval, with most loans approved while you wait. Go to their website to fill out an online loan application, west40autosales.com. You'll also find their weekly special listed there.
This year, the Southeastern Med Cancer Services team is celebrating 30 years of being accredited by the National Commission on Cancer. Earning this accreditation and maintaining it for 3 decades is a testament to their team's quality outcomes, dedication, commitment, and care for their patients and community. Learn more by visiting seormc.org today.
I'm Josh Abels. At Abels, you can count on us anytime you need help with anything electrical in your home. Our team has decades of experience. From emergency repairs to specialty lighting, outlets, and even complete home electrical upgrades, we're ready to help and we promise a perfect job. We can also help protect your home with our automatic standby generators. When the power goes out, you'll be ready. Lights, heating and AC, refrigerator, sump pump, it's all up and running instantly. For generators or anytime you need an electrician, call it.
Go back to the Fish State
halftime at John Glenn High School. Halftime score 32-32. As the Muskies jumped out on the strength of 6 first-quarter threes and led 24-12. Bobcats battled back in the second period and outscored the Muskies 20-8, and there we are at 32 apiece. And pretty entertaining first half. If you're a fan, if you're a coach and you had to watch your team play one of those quarters, probably you didn't think so.
No, definitely not. But, that's high school coaching, right? I mean, you get the good and the bad for sure.
Yeah, can you put together 4 good quarters? And as I'm sure both coaches would admit tonight, that isn't the case so far, as the Cats came out a little bit off, and the Muskies heating it up in that first period with 6 threes, did not hit a 3 in that second period. Were able to put up only 8 points, 6 of them by Nathan Walker, who just kind of took the team on his shoulders and took it to the hoop and laid it in. But the Cats got a huge second quarter from Davion Barr, who had 9 of his 10 first half points in that period, and Garrett Carpenter off the bench knocked down 7.
Yeah, knocked down. He was 3 for 3 there in that second quarter. And that's been really the case for the last several games, bringing him off the bench first out the gate. And man, he's not afraid to put it up, and he's got such a soft touch. Knocking down those 3 kind of sparked Cambridge and got him moving a little bit, got Barr moving a little bit. Barr made 4 buckets in the quarter as well to get him back in. So that combination was lethal for sure. John Glenn, as you mentioned, hot from the 3 in the first, not so hot in the second. And that's, that's 3-point shooting in high school, right? I mean, if you shoot 35%, that's pretty good. Well,
you're not going to make them all.
There you go. It's going to be pretty tough to do. Even that being said, they still shot 35% exactly from 3-point land. So they were 6 of 17 is what I got them for. So, they're above their average, John Glenn is. But, yeah, certainly the tale of 2 quarters, Cambridge coming out with 20 in that second quarter, got back in the game. We're tied up, man. I mean, the difference there a little bit. John Glenn got a little bit sloppy with some turnovers, but mostly because of the Cambridge pressure.
Yeah, you'd like to think that, of course, the Muskies hit those 3 so well. If you're a shooter and you're knocking down a 3, you're thinking, give it to me again. I'm feeling it tonight, but it wasn't there in the second period. And the one advantage that they have had is pounding the ball in the paint, although Larry had a lot of looks in that second period. He wasn't able to connect. Walker was. And if there's 2 guys in this game tonight each team is counting on, Nathan Walker's one of them. He's got 10 at halftime to lead his team, and Davion Barr has 10 at halftime to lead his team. So those 2 guys, have to have good games for their team to be successful, but it's those other guys that who's going to step up. Bexley Woodard has 8 in the first half, including a couple of early threes, 7 for Carpenter, as we mentioned. Josiah Barnett did it all himself in the first quarter. He had 7 first half points, all coming in that opening period. Devin Ogle with just 4. He's had some looks that didn't go down. So Ogle and Lyric kind of right now struggling to get the ball into the hoop from short range, but those are the hardest shots sometimes because they're going to be the most contested.
Well, most contested, and you're expecting them to be contested. You're expecting contact, and a lot of times there isn't. And you gotta forget about the contact and focus on that big square inside of the big square. Hit that painted square on the glass. That's your best bet. Don't worry about what the defense is doing. Nathan Lyric averages almost 8 points a game, and so far he's only got 2, and he was 0 for 3 in that second period. And all 3 of them were good looks.
Yeah.
And Devin Ogle the same way.
So. Caden Walls hit a couple of early threes, but got in some foul trouble. Had 2 fouls quick, sat down, didn't play as much in that second period, so didn't see him. Nelson Cameron knocked down a 3. He has 3, 8 for Woodard, as we said, and Steele Bates off the bench hit an early 3 as well. But, again, it's almost like the Muskies, maybe they'll be reminded a little bit in the halftime that their bread and butter is inside and then inside out for the open 3. But that second period, you got to give the Cats credit. They turned it up a little bit, and they got out and they ran every chance they got.
Yeah, they could have hit their tails and walked back to Cambridge after that first quarter. I mean, that's really how it was going. John Glenn was hot, and Cambridge turned the ball over a lot. Now, things certainly did change in the second quarter, so you got to give Cambridge a little bit of credit for not giving up and sticking with the game plan and really finishing. Anxious to see what will happen here to start that third quarter. This is where Cambridge stumbled against Indian Valley the other day, came out a little flat in that second half, and against a team like John Glenn, you just can't do that because they are going to continue to pressure you.
Cambridge 3 threes in the first half, 6 for the Muskies. free throws. Cats were 1 of 2, and that's the only free throws in that first half. Of course, you see a lot of threes go up in the air. There's probably not going to be a lot of free throws, but on the Bobcats end, they were pounding the ball inside and haven't really had a chance to shoot a lot of free throws here in this first half for either team, although the Muskies probably have the advantage there. If this game gets into a free throw shooting contest, they shoot it a little bit better than the Cats. Yeah, definitely do. They, again, they shoot the three a little bit better. They basically shoot from the floor a little bit better, but the free throws, they're shooting 61% on the season, where Cambridge certainly has been struggling a little bit there. They're only at 54. So, but again, those numbers have improved for Cambridge over the last several games. They really started out cold at the beginning of the season. So interesting to see how this second half goes. Would expect nothing less than for it to come down to the last couple minutes of the game. So this is why we put these games together, for entertainment like this. Well, last year's game went overtime. At this rate, we may be headed that direction as well. 32-32 at halftime here, and this is the deciding game in the challenge today. It basically comes down to this game. Whoever wins this one gets the trophy for a year. That's correct. As we mentioned in the pregame, John Glenn is ahead by 5 points currently. However, this game is worth 5 points, and this game is the tiebreaker. So if it's tied, whoever wins that varsity contest wins the challenge. And I believe Cambridge's last victory in the Catfish Challenge in 2020 came down to that it was tied, and Cambridge won because they won here 2 years ago. 32 apiece, both teams back on the floor for a little shoot around before the second half of action. We're going to shoot around a little bit too. We'll take a minute break here and be back with the second half of action right after this. Just one. Just give us 1 minute. Back in the fish tank, second half coming up here momentarily. BKJV 32-32 at the end of the first half, and we've got to take a look at those situational substitutions and rotations and which team's going to be fresh in the second half, JV. Yeah, and again, that's kind of where Cambridge stumbled the other day against Indian Valley. Foul trouble. Devin Ogle with 2, Nelson Cameron with 2, Caden Walls with 2. So really nobody in foul trouble now to start the second period. So Cambridge ball to start. Bobcats get it in. Garrett Carpenter with the start in the second half. Out on top to Barr. Picked up the dribble, goes back door, cut inside, and then feeds it back to Barr. Does Ogle, got it up and one. Those two guys work so well together. Yeah, and Barr's so quick to be able to get to the hole. I'd like to see him develop that right hand at the bucket. That would really help him to be able to get those shots and to be able to do this and finish those three-point plays. Foul on Walker, his first. And Barr chance to complete the three-point play. Puts it up and a little too hard. Walker with the rebound, and Ogle chases it down and makes the hustle play by banging it out of bounds off of Walker. So the Bobcats with the 2-point lead and now a possession to try to extend it. That's what you get with the Catfish Challenge. You get 100% effort all day. Ogle back out on top to Carpenter. Works against Cameron. Left side, back to Moore off a high pick. Now Barr, who does facilitate a lot out there when he gets the ball away from the hoop. Ogle again. Cats working it here, showing some patience to get what they want. Back to Barnett, right side. Off the dribble, penetrates all the way, tried to kick out, and they'll call the foul. And this one, Cameron, his third. Tough guard. Barnett is so good with the ball in his hand.
Yep, can use both hands, and he's quick enough to get to the hole. And that's basically what he was trying to do there. So Cameron picked up his third.
Steele Bates checks back in. Moore on the inbound. Has to go out on top, and he gets it to Carpenter. And Bates will check him. Freshman on freshman. They've seen each other a lot and will for a few more years. Barr away from the hoop, has Walker on him. Over to Barnett. Wall beats him off the dribble. Little fadeaway baseline left side. Over Lyric and knocked it in. Tough shot because he had the big guy pop out on it. 4-point lead for the Bobcats. Their biggest of the night. Muskie. Woodard. Top of the key, right side. Bates looking for the post feed. Nobody there. Back to Walls off the dribble. Right wing. No good. Rebound. Back to Woodard. Now Walker. Hard down the lane. All the way to the hoop. Nobody switched off on him. And Nathan Walker with the layup drill.
Yeah, so good. Getting to the hole. So good around the rim.
So the Bobcats will face full court pressure. Inbound to Barnett. Walker on him. Up ahead to Carpenter. Near half court, reverses it to Barnett. Over to Moore. Bogle. All the way in under the basket, gets Lyric in the air, and another block shot. It doesn't matter. At 6'6", you don't have to be in the air much. And it comes back the other way. Muskie's down 2. Walker trying to give him the lead, can't get it with the 3. Lyric 2 sticks it back in and ties it up. 36 all. Up ahead, Barr feeds it over. Barnett running the floor well. And Barr, another assist. Ties at 36, or makes it 38-36 Cat.
Barr leads the team, averages over 4 assists a game.
Lyric backing his way down. Switches to the left hand, in and out. Got his own rebound, and a foul called. Caden Moore snuck in underneath Lyric there, and I think he'll pick up the foul.
That's something that Cambridge has struggled with all year, is putting a body on somebody. Yep. Lyric misses the first bucket. You put a body on him and box him out, he doesn't get the rebound. You're going to have to put bodies on him.
Teams first for the Bobcats, Moore second. And the Muskies will inbound it. Bates, baseline, left side. Look. Left side, then gets it to Walker. He'll pull up from 14 and knock it down. Boy, nice sweet jumper there. He's got 14. And we're tied at 38. Cats handle the pressure. Back out to Carpenter. Backdoor cut. Nice look. That time Ogle feeding Barr. No role reversal. 40-38. Those guys do so well just feeding off of each other.
Well, and it's cutting to the hole. You get a lot of quick baskets by cutting to the hole.
Walls pull-up fadeaway is good from the left baseline. Both teams hammering. And again, inside, Moore. Blocked shot by Woodard. Moore got himself just a little too far into the bucket, and that's the best thing that could happen for the Cats right there. As they'll retain possession, Windland will check in for Walker with the game tied at 40. Carpenter gets it in to Barr. Back to Barr in the paint. Kick out, Barnett, deep 3, top of the key. Hard rebound. Comes out to Lyric. Barnett trying to draw the foul, didn't get it done. Woodard out ahead to Bates. Hand off to Walls. Looking for the post feed. Ogle face guarding this time against Lyric. Walls will take it all the way in. Left it short on the rim. And Moore will pull down the rebound.
A lot of banging inside. Devin Ogle trying to get position on Lyric. Tough to do.
Barr gives it up. Right side now, Carpenter, 4-minute mark, tied at 40. Carpenter off the dribble, penetrates, and gets it in the corner to Ogle. Has to go back to Carpenter and then back out to Barnett, who will reset for the Bobcats. Barr with it out on top. You got to watch him. He'll shoot it or drive, and gives it up to Barnett.
And he's got Larrick on him, so you would assume he could get to the hole here.
Barnett back to Barr. Open three. Left that one short. Saved inbounds, and there's nobody there for the Cats. Two guys went after it. Walls will pick it up and chase it up the floor. And Cambridge will pick up a foul near midcourt on Carpenter, his first. And probably avoided an easy bucket that time by doing that.
Yeah, sometimes fouls are good fouls, right?
So Lane Hall into the game. Dolan into the game as well for the Muskies with 3:29 to go. Winland back in as well as they go back to Walker. Baseline, reverse layup up and in. Oh man, he can just sniff buckets. And the Bobcats, a mishandle on the inbounds. Ogle trying to flip it in, hit right back at him. He touched it on the out of bounds. And so the Muskies with a 2-point lead and now the ball. And I think Coach Pertusit wants a timeout, and a good one, I think, at that. 3:15 left here in the third, 42-40. Bobcat take their third timeout, and I think they need it more than anything just to get some fresh legs.
Catch the breath, number one, but number two, he doesn't want it to extend to a 12-point lead again like he did in the first quarter. That's going to be really tough to be able to come back from a 12-point deficit twice in the same game. So there's no reason to panic here if you're Cambridge. You're getting a lot more pressure now. Relax, take care of the ball, and then run the game plan.
It's been Barr and Barnett in this period for the Bobcats, and Walker once again, who's got 6 so far with 3:15 to go. And maybe a little bit of that conversation for the Bobcats is, hey, there's one guy out there that's killing us tonight. He's got 16, and nobody's stopping him from shooting layups.
Yeah, and as you said, though, you start double teaming Walker and being all over him. You got a couple other able bodies to be able to make up for that.
Willen inbounds it to Walker right under the hoop. That time he couldn't get a shot up. There was 3 guys on him, so maybe that was the message.
I guess.
Don't let him shoot it. Walker out between the circles, off the dribble. Hands it back. Winland will take that 3, rattles it in and out. Rebound comes down to the Bobcats. Carpenter. Up ahead to Moore. 42-40 Muskies. Back to Ogle, down the lane, puts up the floater, and no! That one went, and they called a really slow charge there as Ogle picks up his third, and he'll step out. Wow.
Well, those are always the tough ones, right?
You go either way with that.
Right. You got to make your decision, and it would have been less easier to understand if you make that decision right away instead of waiting till the basket goes in.
Yeah. You'll be able to run that one back and forth at home. We can't do it here. Winland to Dolan. 42-40 Muskies with the lead in the ball. 2:25 and counting. Lob inside to Walker against Barr. Scoops it up underneath. Left hand. Nope. They'll say travel. As he did, lean across the lane and picked up his dribble. So Bobcats get a break there. And with 2:20 to go, full court pressure again. Up ahead, Barr nearly lost the handle. Feeds it over to Carpenter. Now they'll reverse it, and Moore will get it across the timeline to Barr. Cats will set out on top. Moore with Bates jumping right on him. Gets it back to Carpenter.
And this is where Cambridge struggles with pressure in their face. Can they continue to control the ball?
Barr will dribble penetrate, and boy, he got bailed out there. He had lost the handle, and they're going to call Bates with the foul. His second, but Barr had clearly lost the ball on his way to the hoop, tried to split a double team. And so the Cats will try a baseline play for the right side. 1:51 to go, down the deuce. Inbound to Moore. Fakes right, goes left, goes baseline, up underneath, feeds it out on top. Barnett, spot 3, not there. Rebound by Winland, and they'll push it up the left side. Dolan. The Muskies a chance to go up by more than 2, and all the way to the paint. Walker tried to finger roll it in, not there. Out ahead, Moore tried to reverse, blocked away by Winland, and it will stay Bobcat ball. Substitutions for the Muskies. Woodard, Walls, and with 3 fouls, Cameron back in the game. 1:24 to go. Cats from the left side of the hoop this time. Into Gregg, and he threw it right past Davion Barn into the backcourt.
Third turnover for Cambridge in this third period.
Braden Gregg giving the Cats some minutes, but you got to be sure with your passes at this stage of the game.
Yeah, especially in a real key time for a bucket, too. That was a pretty important possession there for Cambridge.
So Ogle checks back in. Moore will get a break. And Windling gets it in to Woodard. Left side, Walker. Feed down low. Woodard underneath against Ogle, who has 3 fouls. Missed it, got it right back, puts it up. Missed it again, got it again, and finally put it in. Nobody boxing him out, and Bexley Woodard with his 10th point of the night off a double rebound. And Ogle took an elbow to the top of the head on one of those. Instead of boxing out, he just stood there as a silent bystander.
Yeah,
hard to do with 3 fouls is put your body on somebody.
Correct.
44-40. Muskies with the lead, a minute to go here in the third. Carpenter up the left side into a double team.
Yep. And this is where Cambridge got in trouble early.
Tried to bang it off of a defender, loose on the floor, and knocked out of bounds. And they're going to call Moore for a foul.
Wow, that's not a very good call.
Moore was on the ground after the ball.
Diving for the ball, did not initiate contact at all. That's a tough call, man.
That is a tough one. His third, team's fourth. And it will be Windland. Trigger from the right side, gets it into Walker, immediately squares up, shoots it, and gets the roll. He hasn't needed to roll most of the night, but he got it there. 46-40 and another steal. Windland to the hoop. Left it short, got the rebound, puts it back up and in. Rebound stick back, Windland's first hoop. And the Bobcats wilting under the pressure here, late third period. Have it tipped away again. Walls chases it down. And he'll take it in and lay it in. And a 10-point Muskie lead. 11 left on the clock. Carpenter off the dribble. He's going to have to do something. 3 and knocked out of bounds. It will stay Bobcat ball with 1.1 to go. And John Glenn defensive pressure has done the Bobcats in here in the third period.
Yeah, 5 turnovers for Cambridge. That's what hurt them in that first period, that full court pressure. Look, man, you have to have the ball in the middle of the floor. You cannot bring the ball up the sidelines. You're adding extra defenders. That sideline hurts you. They've been trapping at the sideline basically with 3. That makes a third defender. Got to get the ball in the middle of the floor.
Gregg will inbound it, get it to Carpenter. He'll throw it from the left baseline and nearly knocked it in. By the Danny Gunn. As we head to the fourth period, John Glenn leading 50-40. Don't go away. This has been a game of quarters. And we'll be back in 30 seconds.
How can you select from insurance companies offering you lizards or ducks? When it comes to protection for your home and auto, you want a company that provides quality insurance products and personalized, fair, friendly claims service. WB Green Insurance represents Westfield Insurance. Their reputation is based on sharing knowledge and building trust. Westfield has been around the neighborhood over 150 years. WB Green Insurance welcomes the opportunity to quote your home, car, and business insurance. Don't be fooled by lizards and ducks. Call 439-1329.
Back in the fish tank, 50-40. Muskies going to first quarter replay. They outscored the Cats 24-12 in the first quarter. They outscored them 18-8 in that third period to break a 32-all deadlock. And the Cats actually had a 4-point lead at one point in that third period. Might have been a 6-point lead at one time. And then ended up only scoring 8 in the period. And the Muskies doing it without the 3-point shot. Didn't knock down any threes, haven't since that first period.
Yeah, they were 0 for 2 in that period. Cambridge 0 for 4 from 3 in the third.
The Muskies will start with the lead in the ball in this final 8 minutes. Woodard pops out. They'll spread the floor. A little 1-4 look to Walker on the left side. Feed down low to Larry. He's got a small guy on him, and Barr got a piece of that one, but they're going to call him, I think, with the body. And it is going to be Davion Barr's first foul, 5th on the team, and a shooting opportunity for Larry. First free throws of the night for Andy Muskie.
Yeah, Cambridge looks tired already, and there's only 15 seconds gone.
And Larry handles that one with ease. And the Bobcats trying to get a rotation to keep some guys fresh, but they just don't have enough bodies to get that done and stay competitive. Young Glenn's gone 8 or 9 deep tonight. The Cats have gone maybe 7. And Larry knocks the pair down. He's got 6 on the night and sets up full court pressure. Inbounded. As the Bobcats will handle it this time, knocked out of bounds. There is always a Muskie hand in the cookie jar.
Yeah, putting that pressure on them. You cannot take a break. If you're Cambridge, expect that pressure's coming.
Cameron that time knocked out of bounds. He's got 3 fouls, but that doesn't stop him from reaching a little bit. More on the inbound. Feeds it in the corner to Carpenter. He'll penetrate and trying to kick it across to Ogle. Have it kicked, literally, by Caleb Larrick, and the Cats will inbound it. Down 12, 7:35 left in the game.
I think Caleb Larrick wears a size 16 shoe, for goodness sake. That ball's definitely going to find his feet.
I think I could get both my feet in that one. Carpenter out on top. The Barr will attack the basket. A little contact. Nobody there. He'll get it back and put it in. They didn't call anything there. There was plenty of contact. I think they were anticipating the charge, and it never came. 10-point Muskie lead. Walker with the ball between the circles. Left side, Woodard down low. Larrick trying to spin away. Cat doubled on him and nearly came up with the steal. As Moore sneaking in from behind that time. And Woodard again on the trigger. They'll pick across. They'll get it in to Walker, who missed that one. Got it back, flips it up, missed it again. Larrick another chance, and finally the Cats, well, they don't come out of there with it. Okay, they'll call traveling finally, as Larrick went to the floor and ended up moving with it. But again, the Bobcats cannot move anybody out away from that basket.
Man, well, you don't put bodies on them. You know,
got to be at least a dozen offensive rebounds for the Muskies. As Barr's going to get a break here. I don't know if he's had one yet tonight.
Yeah, it looks like he needs
to go. Yeah. 10-point deficit for the Bobcats. Inbound to Carpenter. They'll race it up the left side, cross it over, skip it up ahead to Gregg.
Oh, you mean the middle was open?
It was wide open. Moore. Left side, Barnett, who has to look to shoot it a little bit more here late.
Yeah, certainly with Barr on the bench.
And he does from the foul line and knocked it down. Barnett has to be a little bit more of an offensive option here. As the Cats pick up full court, Walls in the backcourt, trapped near the midcourt stripe, goes to Walker across to Woodard, who will attack down low. Larrick, and just backs his way in against Ogle. Did he travel that time? Looked like he shuffled a little bit.
Looked like he got away with a little bit of foot movement there. Yeah, it's got to be a foul.
I'll call the body that time on Nelson Cameron, his 4th. As Larrick will step up and out. So will Cameron. Bates and Windland back in. 6:12 to go. 54-44. More on the trigger here. And to Carpenter. And tripped. No call.
It's not going to be a call if somebody's feet get tangled up.
And Windland and actually Walls and Barnett got tangled up, and they were trying to pass the ball to Barnett, and he just went to the floor.
You can't penalize a kid if somebody's feet get tangled up. Now, if he does it on purpose, that's different.
Well, let's look at the replay, right?
Right.
Cats trying to get something out of the full court pressure. Not going to happen as Walker handles it. Bates will go down low, kick out to Walls. Point blank, does not get the roll, and a foul on Barnett. His first, team's 6, but it should be a 2-shot chance here, I think.
Should be.
For Caden Walls, who has 10 on the night. Got jump-started with 2 early threes. Had 4 in the third period. Now his first 2 free throws of the night. And the first one is up and good. Muskies 3 for 3 as a team at the line tonight. And Bard got a quick break and back in. Wall's second one all net. Fourth Muskie in double digits in the steal. Winland can't get it up and in. Tap back inbounds by the Bobcats. Walls comes up with a kick out. Winland look at a three. Check it! Stepped right into it. Bobcats taking it the other way. And Ogle trying to throw it down. Got a little too much on the back iron and will pick up a frustration foul, his fourth. Cats had the run out. Ogle elected to try to throw it down rather than lay it in. And that'll be the 7th team foul on the Cats. And Winland, I believe, will shoot the 1-and-1.
Down by 15. Dunking the ball is not going to help your team any.
Doesn't give you any more points.
No, it doesn't. And there's no style points. You're down 15. You need every point you can get.
Do the Bobcats have a run left in? They're going to need it. Down 59-44 with 5.5 left here. Winland at the line to shoot a 1-and-1. And the first one off the rim, no good. Rebound right back to him. Nobody boxed out the shooter.
It's just basic fundamental basketball. Somebody has to be on the shooter.
It was a long rebound. Lob inside. Woodard step back, baseline jumper, good for Bexley. He's got 12. And the Bobcats again trying for the home run and throw it away. And it will come all the way back down. Braden Gregg well over his head. Barr trying for the easy 2. And the Cats turned it over again. And those turnovers have been bad for the Cats tonight.
That's number 7 in the second period. Had 9 in the first.
61-44 inbound. Bates right corner. Feed inside to Walker. Spins away from Carpenter. Flips it out. Winland 3. Catching! Back-to-back threes by Winland. Again, the Cats running it out. And Gregg can't handle it at the hoop. Cats had the easy run out there, but they couldn't get the ball in the hand. And down now, a quick 20-point deficit. Well, it's escalated in a hurry.
How quickly things change.
The Cats actually had a lead early in this half. And
Ogle's gone.
And Ogle's gone. He's battling out there again. Bexley trying to keep him from getting position. And Devin Ogle will pick up foul number 5 with 4:47 left to go here. And the Cats will have time to make a substitution here as they deal with that. I believe we have a timeout on the floor by the Muskies. 64-44, 4:47. And we'll take it here and kind of recap. Where did things go south, JV?
Real quick.
This game was a dog fight, cat fight, fish fight halfway through that third period.
It sure was. And as you mentioned, Cambridge had a 4-point lead halfway through the third. And, sloppy play tends to give the other team a little bit of momentum. But I like what Coach Scheck did is slow it down a little bit in the half court and pound the ball inside. Cambridge, John Glenn has such a size advantage that those bigger bodies leaning on you the whole game, that wears on you throughout the game. It really does. And that's exactly what they did in that third period by pounding the ball into Lyric. Cambridge got a little bit more foul trouble, but all that pounding, man's gotten them tired. But John Glenn also got more aggressive on the defensive end.
That full court pressure. The Cats wilted there about 5 possessions in a row.
There you go.
It went from an even ball game. They were down 10 in the span of about a minute.
It quickly changed to a 10-point lead there. And, and then all of a sudden your fatigue starts to even become more apparent because now you got a huge deficit and you're too tired to come back from it. You have no legs left and you don't shoot the 3 particularly well anyway. So it's really tough to be able to get back into it if they get behind the 8 ball like they did in that first quarter. It's tough to come back twice in a game from double digits.
Fatigue pretty much the factor now for the Bobcats. And the foul situation is Woodard goes to the line and cashes in on that free throw. He'll earn the bonus. He's got 13 on the night. Pretty balanced scoring when you look at the Muskies tonight. 4 guys in double digits. And 2 for 2. for Bexley right there. And more full court pressure. Bobcats handled it pretty well in the middle quarters, but nearly giving up here. Barr for three from the corner. Left it short, got his own rebound. Dribbled it too quick, flips it out to Carpenter. Carpenter's got to become more of an offensive threat for the Bobcats too. He has spurts. He had a nice second period. As Barnett tries to work himself free here, left it short, and Bates will ensure it's one and done for the Bobcats, who have not had many second chances tonight. Woodard again, baseline, step back. And Woodard's got that 10-footer from that baseline perfected, 68-44. And again, Greg doesn't handle the pass, and Walker back to the layup line. His first bucket of the fourth period gives him 20. 70-44. And you would never believe that this was a tie ball game just 12 minutes ago. Going to look a lot different in the final box score than it was halfway through. Barr, spin move, kick out. Greg will take the three from the corner. Cha-ching! Braden Gregg, and he needs to shoot the ball a little bit to get some confidence and knock it down, because teams are letting him take that shot.
Yeah, and that's really why he's on the floor.
He got off to a bad start at the beginning of the year and then got passive about shooting it, but he's got that ability right there.
Yep.
70-47. Muskies with the lead, the ball, and the clock running down.
Yeah, certainly no reason to rush here if you're John Glenn.
2:50. Bobcats just basically playing inside the arc, and the Muskies are content to hold it out there. Walker, Winland, and now Wall. And a timeout taken by the Muskies. 2:37 left in the game. We'll take the break. 70-47. John Glenn on top. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Catfish Challenge. 10th year for this event. The Muskies lead it 6-3 and about to make it 7-3, and two in a row here. They lead it 70-47 with just 2:37 left to go in the game.
In convincing fashion.
It was tight earlier. The Bobcats have gone to the bench here and gotten a couple more subs involved. Alex Lacey, 5'9" senior, steps in, and they'll concede here in the last 2:30 as the Muskies also have gone deeper to the bench. Dolan gives it up to Cameron, who's got 4 fouls. Looks for the post feed. Inside to Stanbush. Kick out, knocked away, and they'll say touch last by the Muskie. Carpenter touched it, went off of Dolan, and we'll go back to the Cats, and now lots of new jerseys in the game for the Cats. Stoner, Gibson into the game along with Bryson Anderson. So 2:11 to go, 70-47, and we'll deal with name changes here the last couple of minutes. Carpenter. Anderson. Lacey off the pick, back to Stoner, top of the key. Lacey couldn't get the shot up quick enough. And they'll reset on top to Carpenter. Double pick up there for him. Muskie's defense, even though they got subs in there, they're playing tight defense.
Heck yeah, they get a chance to get on the floor. They need to show that they need more playing time.
And guess what? Nelson Cameron just fouled out.
That's his fifth.
He went for the steal, and Carpenter beat him to the ball, and that'll get Steele Bates back in the game. And Cameron tonight knocked down an early three. That's his only hoop of the night. With 1.5 to go. Benjamin Gibson off the dribble penetration. Trying to feed it back to Carpenter, and that pass nearly swiped away by Lane Hall. Got a lot of guys out there who are a little reluctant to shoot now.
I'm firing it up, buddy. You get a chance to get in there, it's going up.
Yeah, you wouldn't let anybody get close enough to you to guard you.
Heck no, not when you're getting in there on mop-up time.
Cavs continue to work the perimeter. Carpenter will pull up that 15-footer off the mark, pulled down by Gavin Bates. Up ahead to Dolan. Under a minute to play, 70-47. Muskies were looking for their 5th win of the season against 3 losses. Bobcats are going to drop to 2-7. And John Glenn continues to work the perimeter. Dolan, baseline move, trying to lob it inside. That pass over his teammate's hand, stolen away by Carpenter. And he'll bring it across the timeline, up ahead to Lacey. Trying a backdoor cut to Stoner, that's loose. And Steele Bates picks it up. And not to be outdone, Carpenter wouldn't give it up. He got the steal back. Gives it to Lacey. Back to Carpenter, 13 on the clock. Nothing going to make any difference here except in the scorer's book. Carpenter to Stoner, he'll take it down the lane. Tried to put up the runner and draw contact and fouled by Justin Stanbush. Oh, it will probably be 2 foul shots here for Cohen Stoner. And the first one is up and off the mark. Bobcats haven't had many free throw opportunities tonight. This is just their 5th one coming up here.
Well, Stoner leads the team at 87.5%.
And he got the roll on the second one. 1 of 2 to make it 70-48. That'll be your final score. As the Bobcats only able to add 16 points in the second half, and the Muskies run away from them. And the Catfish Challenge 2022 belongs to the Muskies. They win the last 3 contests, the freshman, JV, and varsity contest, and win this one tonight. And the varsity contest going to the Little Muskies 70-48. We'll step out, take a minute or 2 break. Be back, have our stats and final wrap-up right after these messages. $70-48. Yes. Give us 2 minutes here and then we'll come back and wrap it up. Yeah.
To provide you with unbeatable service. Are you going to trust a talking lizard to help you with your claim? Really? Don't let this happen to you. Trust the professionals at Valentine Insurance. Call 994-1776.
This year, the Southeastern Med Cancer Services team is celebrating 30 years of being accredited by the National Commission on Cancer. Earning this accreditation and maintaining it for 3 decades is a testament to their team's quality outcomes, dedication, commitment, and care for their patients and community. Learn more by visiting seormc.org today.
Now located at 16050 McConnellsville Road in Caldwell, Ohio. Patrons Buckeye Mutual Insurance Company is a mutual insurance company established in 1896 for the purpose of providing insurance coverage to rural Ohio. They offer a product to meet your insurance need, whether it is for a farm, rental dwelling, home in town, secondary or seasonal dwelling, churches, or mobile home. They partner with Grinnell Mutual Insurance Company to offer liability coverage to package with their patrons Buckeye Mutual policy. Call today at 638-3604 and follow them on Facebook at Patrons Buckeye.
I'm Josh Abels. At Abels, you can count on us anytime you need help with anything electrical in your home. Our team has decades of experience. From emergency repairs to specialty lighting, outlets, and even complete home electrical upgrades, we're ready to help and we promise a perfect job. We can also help protect your home with our automatic standby generators. When the power goes out, you'll be ready. Lights, heating and AC, refrigerator, sump pump, it's all up and running instantly. For generators or anytime you need an electrician, call Abels.
And the fish tank and the victorious Muskies picking up the trophy and the win at the varsity level tonight, 70-48. Recapping the quarter by quarter. John Glenn led it by 12 at the end of one, 24-12, but Cambridge battled back in that second period behind Garrett Carpenter, Davion Barr, and Caden Moore. They put up 20 and held the Muskies to 8 and tied this thing up at halftime, 32-32. Cats came out in the third period. Actually had I think a 4-point lead at one time. Might have been 36-32 after the first couple of minutes of that third period. But then John Glenn cranked the heat up a little bit defensively, forced the Bobcats into a number of back-to-back turnovers, and ran away from the Cats, outscoring them in the third period 18-8 and 20-8 down the stretch as the Muskies pick up their 5th win of the season against 3 losses. The Bobcats will drop to 2-7 as we turn the calendar to a new year. And for both these teams heading kind of different directions. Cats picked up a couple of wins a couple weeks ago, thought they had kind of righted the ship, and they have played better basketball in spurts, but they just can't put 4 quarters together. And the second half tonight was a dismal half in handling the pressure that the Muskies brought after them, as John Glenn outscored them 38-16 in that second period.
Yeah, real big difference there. The turnovers, again, we knew that coming in, that Cambridge really struggles with turnovers. You know, they average 15 a game, and that's going to be real tough when you play a team that likes to pressure the ball. So John Glenn got after it. Certainly in that first quarter. Cambridge handled a little bit more in the second quarter. Third quarter was certainly a big difference, and then had some mop-up time there in that fourth quarter. Cambridge with 11 turnovers in the second half for 20 overall. It's going to be tough to compete with the team that shot the ball really, really well early, and you had 20 turnovers. So that's going to be really tough. That was the difference in the game.
Well, and how much of that is the fatigue factor, too, for the Bobcats? You get tired, you get a little sloppy, you don't, you're not as sharp as you were earlier, and I think we've talked a little bit about that in the past. The Cats haven't been able to get into an effective rotation where they can stay competitive without, the other team having a run on them, and that's kind of what happened to them a little bit there in that third period. Is Nathan Walker went right back to work. He had 8 of his 20 points in that third period and just pounded the boards. Second chance opportunities for the Muskies were probably 20-1 tonight for the Bobcats. I can't remember an offensive rebound for Cambridge, but for John Glenn, sometimes they got 2 or 3 in the same possession.
Yeah, Bexley Woodard, I've got with 9 different rebounds. Nathan Walker only had with 4. It seemed like he would have had more than that, but I think it was just because he was around the basket so much. He made more than he missed, so he didn't get those second chance rebounds. But yeah, Cambridge doesn't. We saw it several times, and we made reference to it. They struggle a little bit in the half-court defensive set because they don't find bodies after the shot goes up. You got to be able to rebound, and that really hurts them from that standpoint. You can't give teams second-half points, and if you don't shoot the ball particularly well, boy, you better play good defense, and that really hurts Cambridge a little bit. That being said, Cambridge actually did shoot the ball pretty well tonight from the floor. They shot 50%. 20 for 40 from the floor. So, 50% is not bad. Shot 28% from 3, 59 from 2. They actually shot the ball a little bit better than John Glenn did, but the difference was John Glenn busted 8 threes and took 21 of them. So they shot 38% from beyond the arc, 47 from 2 for 45% total. 45% is a little bit lower than what you want to see, but when you're knocking down 8 threes, that really helps.
Well, Windland came into that fourth period and knocked down a couple. Yeah. That helped them out. They hadn't hit one since that first period. and were able to get a couple out of him in the corner there. That just kind of put the nails in the coffin, so to speak, and allowed the Muskies to pull away and pick up what wasn't easy when it didn't look like that early.
It looked like it was going to be down to the wire, but again, as we've said several times on the broadcast, it seems like Cambridge starts to run out of gas in that second half, and when you continually have pressure and you're bombarded by hands and bodies in your face, it takes a toll on you. And as I said too, with those bigger bodies that John Glenn had, they really made an emphasis of trying to play inside in that second half, and that wore on Cambridge a little bit too.
Yeah, you don't miss a lot of layups with the guys that size. The three-pointers early looked good, but it was the layups late that ended up making the difference for the Fish tonight as they win this one 70-48. Individual scoring for the Bobcats, 16 for Davion Barley, had 6 in the second half, 13 on the night for Barnett, and he only had 6 in the second half. And Coach Scheck said in the pregame a little bit, he said, those are the two guys we've got to put a handle on and shut them down a little bit. And maybe that was re-emphasized at halftime because they certainly didn't go off in the second half like they did early. 7 on the night for Garrett Carpenter. Those all came in that second period. 4 for Caden Moore, 3 for Braden Gregg, 4 for Devin Ogle, and 1 or 2 at the line for Cohen Stoners. The Bobcats just 2 of 5 as a team at the line and hit 4 threes. For the Muskies, 8 threes overall, 6 of 7 as a team at the free throw line. All of those coming in the fourth period. And they had 3 guys in double digits and a couple real close, 20 for Nathan Walker to lead all scorers tonight. He had 10 in the first half, 10 in the second half, 16 for Bexley Woodard, including a couple of early threes for him, 12 for Caden Walls, 8 for Caleb Blerick, 8 for Noah Windland off the bench. A couple of late threes helped his effort. Steele Bates knocked down the early 3, and Nelson Cameron knocked down an early 3 as well, as the Muskies go to 5-3 on the season. The Bobcats now 2-7. And as I said, we turn the calendar as 2023 coming up next week. And we'll have plenty more basketball for you here on WILE and YRPtv. Want to thank all the guys here and at the station. And JV, speaking of thanks, I got to thank you publicly on the air for all the efforts you carry out to make this happen. I mean, it takes one person at least, but a couple of guys to kind of spearhead it, and you and your company are among those guys that have stepped up and made it happen every year, and so congratulations to you and another successful effort. But there's a lot of other people involved, and you might want to mention some of those too.
Well, yes, thank you. It does take a lot of work, and you know, I put a lot of heart and soul into it, and it's something we want to continue to build upon. Look, you have 2 great storied rival programs. I mean, such success on the state level and certainly at the regional level. It does take a lot of work, but we do it for the kids. I mean, it's an opportunity for the youngsters to be able to come on the high school floor and play in front of their peers and in front of the older kids, and they dig that, right? And it's a lot of fun, but you know, a couple years ago with the passing of Josh Adams, it really put a little bit more emphasis on it, and we knew we had to get this bigger and better, and we continue to do that and look forward to getting more people involved, more sponsors involved, so we can give more kids an opportunity at that higher education level.
Yeah, again, kudos to you and all the people that were involved and all the sponsors, and there were T-shirts and the Catfish Challenge and people getting pictures, family pictures. Is that a family picture?
Jesus,
that's a big family.
That is a big one.
The Carpenters over there with all those folks getting their picture taken, and happy
broke all the
holidays.
cameras over there.
I guess that's mostly Mike and
oh, for sure,
Mike Carpenter on one end. You got him on one, and geez,
maybe they cropped him out.
Yeah, that could be possible. And again, thanks to everybody tonight that made this possible. Catfish Challenge, again, this year won by the Muskies. But the final score of the varsity game, 70-48. I want to thank Braden back to the station now. Great job back there, and all the guys here from vocational school tonight, and Cam Summers and his crew doing the cameras and the board. They did a nice job here. So we'll be back to our regular routine next week, right?
Last game of 2022.
Yeah.
Looking forward to flipping that calendar and a big Buckeyes win tomorrow night.
Hey.
How about that?
I'm repping the gear tonight, hoping that it happens. I don't know if I'm more of a jinx or...
I think everybody's hoping.
We're all hoping that something positive is going to happen in Georgia. Our AVC sports team, JV and the crew. I'm Bill Kafury. Next time, folks, we'll talk to you then.
High school basketball is a presentation of AVC Sports.
Applied to make it easier. Let the children's laughter remind us how we used to be. I decided long ago never to walk in anyone's
Thanks for watching high school basketball from AVC Sports. Tonight's game is brought to you by Doan Ford, Patrons Buckeye Mutual Insurance, WB Green Insurance, West 40 Auto Sales, Southeastern Med, AMG Vanadium, Valentine Insurance, Woodsfield Savings Bank, Papa John's of Cambridge, and Abel's